What's up, everybody? And what you see right here is one of the traps that I'm gonna talk about in today's world. Well, in today's society, where you have this society doesn't feel genuine anymore. It feels like everything in this society feels like a trap that they want to trap you in, and basically do what they want you to do. I mean, there's so much going on right now because the George Floyd situation, now it's spreading to everything. You know, my videos was about, what was it? All the porn, the adult entertainment allegations that happened, where they was just exposing people left and right, people that they slept with for opportunities. So they wanted to make their own opportunities and get power over the industry. They're trying to force people to like what they like, and that won't work. But they don't realize that, because a lot of the people who a lot of these females don't know what people want. They think they do, but they're so arrogant and superficial and shallow that they, in their head, they're thinking that I can put something out there and magically everybody's gonna like it. So you have that in the porn industry, where these women are trying to push out agendas for themselves. This is why, you'll see an increase of women, of men, of cuckolds, because they think that guys who don't have a big size penis belong in a cuckold position. They think that if you don't look good to them, then you're not considered something that should be happy. You should be assigned a person that you're not happy with because they said so, right? So we got this society going on, but I'm gonna move along from that, and I'm gonna move back to that. I'm gonna move to the stuff that I seen online. Okay. One thing I don't like is 100% hypocrites. People who 100% hypocrites are people who yell at the rooftop about people standing the ground and people doing this and doing that, but then they don't do that themselves. Now, you can be a 25% hypocrite. You can be a 50% hypocrite, but you can't be a 100% hypocrite. Because 100% hypocrite is when you have an audience, when you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, when you have the loudest voice, you have to be aware and mindful of the shit that you say to people, or the shit that you say and do. You can't be sitting here saying that you anti-strag, but then on another panel or another situation you say, I have sex with strags. But then why are you giving advice to guys to go SYSBM when you're sticking your vanilla sausages or Snickers or whatever analogy you want to make about your Johnson? You sticking your Johnson inside of ratchet ass women, and you think that everybody else going to do that shit, but then they're going to go back online and talk some red pill shit or talk about that. This is why I got a problem with Zach. Keep letting Zach on. That's why I have a problem with Grinch, who comes out and say, I'm a thinking man, but want to fight C Boogie outside. I have a problem with guys like, Ty, who is yelling and getting all violent, but this guy's supposed to have got so much vagina access. He was, he was in the sex underground market or whatever he was doing. But that didn't calm him down from the fact that he used to be one of those Pookies and Reggaries. I mean, to me, he still got a lot of bent up aggressions that he haven't got out of him yet. Because to me, I'm looking at him like, if I've been down the road, you've been down. When it came down to the women, I wouldn't be so angry about life at all, or mad about the so-called strags and shit like that. I mean, for me, his SYSBM card is kind of starting to crack. The shit that he say, how he produced himself, how he read ARC's book 3 fucking times. I mean, it's kind of put me to the fact like, wow, a lot of these dudes are claiming SYSBM, but they're not really SYSBM. Because this dude said on one panel that he can have sex with white women as long as he pretends like he's a Pookie and Ray Ray, because that's what they don't go after Pookies and Ray Rays. They go after educated brothers. But then he'll go on another panel and promote educated brothers. Then you try to promote women, you try to promote men to go after feminists. But then, you know, pretend that like they're Pookies and Ray Rays so they can get access so they won't get a case on them. What kind of cold switching shit is this? This is the 1% of problem I have with King Sigma when he said that he cold switch. I mean, to me, if you can't stand on your ground being yourself and you can't weather the storm being yourself, I think you're a weak person. Now, you have to adapt to a situation but entirely switch? Nah, man. I ain't about that. But then it's, you got people, you got certain people in the sector that constantly switch their tone. I don't even know why people let Third World Columbia come on when he disrespects so many black men on panels, and y'all still let this dude talk. He sounds just like Zach. He sounds just like Ben DeSilva. Pretenders who come into space and then talk shit and you let them back on. Then you got Mike Shimmery. Everybody remember Mike Shimmery in Obsidian's chat trying to tell guys what to do. Magically, after B1 fell, he jumps back onto the brothers and act like he never said all the shit that he said in the inbox. He never said all the shit that he said in the chat box. I'm like, y'all letting these dudes come in too comfortably, and this is why black people in general don't have no standards, because we keep letting the same people back in the discussion, talking the same shit, and not calling the test of what the fuck they said previously. Like, if I was running these panels, and dudes like Third World Columbia, dudes like all the people that used to be hanging out with B1 would have to pay a fee to get on the panel and even be in the chat. So that's $40. Y'all successful, right? You want to be a part of this discussion? $40 up front. That's your tax for 2 months for saying the shit that you say. Or we have a data analyst. See how long Mike Shimmery was running around with B1, and tax him how long he was with B1. The general should be taxed for being with B1. A lot of motherfuckers are too lenient on the black side of things, because I don't know why you trying to like save up certain men to not like excommunicate them or something. You're not trying to let new blood come in or whatever. I don't know why, but to me, it's too many red flags, and there's too many people saying one thing and then jumping on the panel for another one, and saying something on the panel for another thing. Like, I can't. This is the reason why I never jumped on any panels. I was going to invest into like a good mic and be like, let me get on these panels and say what I want to say. But I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be on the panels with a whole bunch of people who I know is fake, because I'm gonna call them out on the panels. I'm gonna call them the fuck out. Mike Shimmery should never be on any panels after he was with on B1, because this nigga took like a 2-3 month break from B1 after they got exposed, and then came back in the sector that he talked about, and everybody let him back in and act like he on his side. It's like, dude, how can y'all forget what the fuck he did? I mean, Y'all bring up every time Ty City is, you know, right there. But the fact is, I have a problem with Ty City as well. Because look, this is how I do things. If you was with the niggas who robbed me before, then you just as part to blame than the dude who robbed me. You know why? Because if the dude told you that he robbed me before, then you didn't try to check him or tell him to mitigate the situation to what he did, then I'm gonna blame you. And if I come after him, then I'm gonna come after you. That's how it's done in other environments outside of America. Tried in Mexico, in Brazil, in all types of other countries, even Russia. If you hang out with people who did dirt to people, they gonna hit you first to get to the person they want to get to because you was with them. It's no, oh no, I don't take this space seriously. Oh no, I don't do this, I don't do that. No, it's a, hey man, you was with that person. Like, I know what it's like to have somebody who I consider so-called a friend, but he hanging out with the nigga that robbed me 2 times. And the only reason why he was able to do the kind of stuff that he did to me around the neighborhood, because he had protection. His family was up the street. His other family was around the corner. One of his cousins was trying to fight me because I was telling everybody around the neighborhood that he robbed me. So it was so many people that I was against. I would have had to dig a grave for all of them. But instead, I moved along and I gave myself a long time. So my so-called childhood best friend who hang out with the guy who robbed me and also hang out with the niggas who call me weirdos to my face, he wants to walk up to me and try to be cool with me thinking I forgot. What should I had put a hole in him and found out where he lived and put a hole in him and digged his grave for him because he was hanging out with the dude who robbed me? Or should I have put the hole inside the dude who robbed me 8 years later because I knew where he was at and I knew all this information and I could have got him right then and there. I was the better man. See, this is what being the better man and being the best man you can possibly be and being a guy with a code and honor. You do things when nobody else is looking. You do things where you do small particular things that other people don't notice. They don't want to notice. I think, was it a year ago, a couple years ago, or a month ago, I think a year ago, I always carry bags with me. So I don't waste the bags of the establishment or the store. And a lot of people just look at me. One person, I've been doing this for years. One business owner said, "Wow, you were very considerate." I said, "What you mean?" He's like, "You'd rather bring your own bags and reuse the bags instead of me having to put the bags because, yeah, these bags are very expensive. But a lot of people don't need bags. They just want bags just to have them. And they don't understand that sometimes it's hard to maintain this and maintain our stock." And I said, "Hey, I appreciate all the stores." That was the first time ever that somebody acknowledged what I was doing for the business owners. That was the first time. And you never, as a good person in this fucked up ass world, you're never acknowledged for the stuff that you do because everybody say you're supposed to do it. So if I'm supposed to do it, ain't you supposed to do it as well? If I'm supposed to not go to jail, sell drugs, get women pregnant, do all this other fucking ratchet shit, if I'm supposed to do that, have a job, all this other stuff, then why a lot of motherfuckers are not patted on their back for doing that shit? Why is it that only the women are patted on the back but not the men? The CJ King shit that happened when he bragged about his accomplishments. But then we turn around a couple weeks later, a single mom decided she got out of law school and everybody was congratulating her and people forgot. People forgot about the Tinder experiment of a girl, of the female, who brung almost 1,500 men to task to date her. and didn't even get any successful dates and prospects. Then she turned around and said, I only did this because it was done to me. People forgot that, right? But they want to keep telling guys to go out here and keep fucking with these fucked up women. And then you're acting like the 5% of women ain't fucked up or ain't tainted. By the time you get to the Graceland, that's like somebody telling you that paradise exists on earth. And then by the time you get to paradise, you work your ass off just to get to paradise. And you find out it's not paradise. The shit been fucked up. And you missed it. That's what all these so-called good women that these dudes try to suggest guys to get with is. It's paradise that's been fucked up years ago. The only way you can get what you want is going outside of the country. Because you can't get it here. As I said in the beginning of this video, it's too many traps. It's the marriage trap. It's the baby trap. It's all this shit that you can get caught up in now. And they creating more and more situations. They're making life so miserable because they can't get nothing tangible out of life. So they make it so much, they're making life so miserable for everybody else that everybody else gonna be miserable, and they're gonna bond with people based off misery. They like guys that they can control when it comes down to the sex, and they can control your manhood and turn it up and turn it down when they want to. They're trying to force everybody like this. So let me talk about the situation here. This is a thought right here. A chat thought. A OnlyFans thought. Now, you see her cleavage, and then the whole time I was talking, to draw your attention, to draw your attention, she's having a baby. I don't know who got her pregnant, but that was the stupidest move that you probably made in your life. Because she did something mentally ill. And nobody calls women out when they do shit like this. So she had a full head of hair. And all these women are mentally ill if they does this shit. So she goes and cut all her hair off. All of it. Why are you getting women like this pregnant? Hair to women is like the lifeline to women. Like, to me, if a chick cuts her hair off, she pretty much cutting off her femininity or cutting off her visuals of being a woman. This is the reason why these females, these black females, always get weave. Because they know that no one will accept them with their short hair. Even the natural hair is still not enough. And they keep talking about it's European standards. No, it's every standards. Because there's women in Africa who have long hair. They might have froze, but when they put natural chemicals in their hair, I'm talking about from the earth, because it's actually there. They do that shit in Brazil, mayonnaise and mayonnaise, and I forgot fruit juices and all types of natural herbs that straighten your hair out. It goes all the way to their shoulder. They still have long hair. It's more putting character on your face if you got hair. If you got long hair, depending on the length on your hair. So if you have a chick who had a full set of hair and decided to cut her hair off because she got pregnant, how stable is this female to have a kid with? Then a guy asks her a simple question. He says, what made you decide to cut your hair off? None of your business, little N-word. And he laughed. I had to. I'm not here to judge. Just curious. I thought it was for spiritual purposes to satisfy your new journey on the path of your motherhood. You be sipping like a MF. Nah, I'm good. This is a chick who sells her body on OnlyFans but calling people simps. This is the disrespect that I see every single day in this society, in this American society, Western society. So you try to tell guys to pay for adult entertainment, then call them a simp, then say stupid shit out your mouth, and then cut your hair off. And when guys tell you that, ask you a question, you go attack them. But then you think that this gonna make favorable, your actions gonna be favorable to the dating market. You think men are gonna want to go have kids with these women out here now, or they want to go even have sex with them now, or even pay for your stupid ass videos. This is what the society has become: delusional, guys ego filled, and just too much bullshit that goes on. I can name a whole list of stuff, but this is the women that y'all gas up. The safe place for sexual liberation and exploitation and freedom. This is a safe place for LGBTQ community. If it makes you uncomfortable, feel free to leave. The funny thing about this whole LGBTQ community and all this other crap that they keep pushing out is that they never made any type of room for guys that they don't like. The funny thing that they always talk about inclusion, but they always forget out the guys that they talk down to. Now, when I make this point across everybody else, I'm called an incel. And I say, oh, but that's not inclusion. And I get blocked. Every time I call these people out, like, hey, you want LGBTQ community people to just be accepted, but y'all going around calling people incels and calling people names and making fun of guys with small dicks and all this other stuff. But you talking about inclusion, right? Why the fuck would I want to be a part of inclusion when one side is included, but the other side is banished? Fuck all of this shit. I don't want to be part of none of this shit. And then they start blocking you, getting mad, trying to get your stuff reported and everything else. And this is why I'm careful with what I say on Twitter now. Used to be I just go back and forth and I just destroy people. Now I quiet down. Because one of my other accounts, I'm happy that it happened to my other account, got suspended. So I had to create another one. It seemed like a lot of people like tying you to a chair and punching you in your face and acting like that you're supposed to keep taking those punches and not break out their chair and beat their ass. It seemed like this is what they're trying to do to certain people in society, is tie you to a chair, tape you down and start beating you up and acting like they want to conform. And then when you get out of that chair, you're supposed to say, oh, I forgive you for beating me up. No, you come back and you fight them and you beat their ass just as much as they were beating your ass. But they don't like when people hit them back. It seems like this society is now falling apart. And the best thing for you to do is carve out something that you can call your own and stay in that corner. Customize your life the way you wanted to customize, and look at everybody else like they're zombies that you don't want to get affected. You want to maneuver away from them. You're gonna put some zombie guts on you and blend in for them for a while just to get through that herd, and then wash that shit off and be like, okay, I'm out of that. I'm out of the herd now. Because that's what you have to do. I ain't said code switching. I ain't said become a zombie. I said put on the guts where they think you are like them for a limited time, because you have to survive somehow. But code switching it all together, no. It's too much. It's too much people going into places that they don't belong. People going into places where they're trying to force. A lot of people are not called to task no more, especially in the black community, in the black spaces. Nobody called to task Mike Shimmery, Trey, Grinch, Smooth when he came at DK Politis, Third World Columbia, all these dudes who who sat out here and said some egregious shit. Why nobody called them to task? I don't get it. Y'all that hard up for people in a space without... Come on. Y'all that hard up on the space that y'all don't want to get rid of certain people to make room for new people so they can join the conversation and more upstanding people. The one person I respect in the space that I see who don't come into space like that is Mad Bus Driver. Mad Bus Driver has his own platform, his own space, and I don't see that many people in his space come over to all the other spaces. They stay in their own circle. And I suggest, and I'm happy about that. Because then you got people who stay in their own space and they do just fine. I love how Mad Bus Driver don't go to panels, other people's panels. He stay on his own shit. And I took cue from him, but I always been doing that. I stay on my own shit. I go on people's spaces as time wasters, but I said I was going to join panels, but then I'm like, nah, I don't want to be on a panel with a bunch of niggas who never been called to task. And I don't want to be a part of a space that people just let certain people just walk right in after they did some reckless shit or after they hanged out with certain type of people, and they act like for some reason it's a cool thing to let people in who sat down with your enemies, like sat down and made all types of plans with your enemies to try to destroy you, and then magically I'm gonna let that same person who was sitting down with my enemies at the table to come back on my side and say, hey man, they was doing that over there, they was saying all this stuff. No, but you was with them. Ain't no other society gonna let somebody do this type of shit except black society. Niggas are too forgiving of the wrong people, which I'm sick of. I don't like y'all clowns, man. Some of the people on here is clowns. The whole world for me is like a clown show. Y'all clowns that can actually hurt and put people in jail, but in turn it's clowns. I mean, all these sex workers getting pregnant. What they gonna tell their kids about? Like, y'all raising the next generation of thoughts and niggas who slaves to sex. This is one of the reasons why I don't want kids. Not in America. And not in these fucked up ass Western society bullshit countries. Western society practicing countries that practice Western society bullshit. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't think that United States is a good place to raise kids. There's too much bullshit going on. They want your kids to be trans or just somebody to use. It's no way to live. To look at life like that. And then you got the same people who talking about injustices and talking about let's fight for your rights and all this other shit. They're the same type of people who are now out here. All they do is party and drink, party and fuck, party and fuck, party and fuck, party and fuck, party and drink, party and fuck. That's all you've been doing. How can I take any nigga seriously who all they did was fuck other people's wives? All they did was party and drink, and they all talking about why you don't look at life seriously, but then you want to go down, you want to talk about serious manners. Oh, I don't like the cops when they do this and this and this. I don't like the cops when they do all this and this and this and this. It's injustice. We taking back what's ours. We taking back what's ours. You niggas didn't put anything into this world. Y'all didn't put any serious manners into this world. Y'all didn't even stand on your ground for 1 year. Y'all can't even, if I gave you a task of what not to do for a whole year, I bet you'll break that shit in 2 months. Like, y'all don't know what it's like to stand for something. You joining movements because it's popular. And this is why I say this is a clown show. But I'm starting to see that I'm not going to sit here and start like messing with and telling people that they fucked up or saying certain things like, oh yeah, you SYSBM niggas, y'all think it's savior inside between the legs of different races and shit. Like, no, I'm not trying to spread black pill shit. I'm not trying to spread my own shit. But I'm trying to tell people like, man, customize your own way that you want to live. You can always adjust yourself, but don't be a part of this shit. Don't be a part of this shit and then act like you wasn't a part of this shit and then come online and pretend like you for something that's opposite of what you say. Please don't do that no more. Like, it's annoying that a lot of people, I'm losing more respect for a lot of people in so-called red pill spaces as black. More and more and more. Every time I hear them talk on panels, every time I hear them slip up and say some shit out their mouth, it doesn't reflect on that. It doesn't reflect that a guy who said he get women and good with women has to come into a chat and flirt with every woman in a fucking chat. It's not for real. It isn't logical in reality when somebody said they're good with women, but they always got to try to post that shit and put it to other people. I remember when that pimp dude, I forgot his name was, that tried to play Obsidian. And then he jumps on another panel and says something totally different. Oh, I'm going to run my game on her. And this is what I said right here. He said that he was on Game Changers panel, because I don't watch Game Changer like that anyway either too. A lot of stuff that he did that made me like, okay, I'm gonna stay away from his channel too. It was that pimp dude that they had on there, and he said he was gonna talk to a girl who was boyfriend. He gonna use his game to get her out the panties. But then I said in my head, like, if I was on the panel, I'm saying, okay, how about the husband had a girl? How about the husband had guys following the girl, and then you trying to talk to her and touch her, some dudes come out of the alleyway, grab you, and put a bullet in you for doing that? Why haven't you learned that in this world you can't be going around talking to people's wives and girlfriends? This is why you can't. This is why nobody wants niggas around them, and people were pretending to be not niggas to be around them, because they don't know when you're gonna turn into a nigga, and it makes it harder for somebody like myself who ain't one, or pretending I'm not one. I'm not, to fit into this society and not be a part of this shit. You got people on panels who are known to do shit and say shit, and no one calls them out. They just have them on panels. And it's like, damn, man. It's the only space that I see on the black side is like, that ain't really fucking how could I put it? It's the only space that I see on here. I see, what's it called? Like, MOT has his panels, and I like the way MOT checks people. That's one of the best things. He let Locast on. That shit was funny. The roasting of Locast. Locast, Ghetto Techie, Gabe A got roasted off of Band of Tomorrow's panel. You know, a lot of other people got roasted off his panel. And they did it in a logical way. They didn't do it with roasting. I mean, Locast, we already know what he does. This dude said he like ghetto chicks who fight. But he want niggas to he want niggas to work their ass off to be around people they don't get along with, and then so we can work together so their hard work can rub off on the dumb niggas, and then sacrifice the good ones, the ones who got their shit together, and get killed. And then he want more niggas to come into these so-called black areas that they don't get along with other black people because they don't have the same stuff common in people. And you want them to go build themselves up, build their life up, have their own rituals, to go around people who don't have no kind of, who hang around ghetto ass people, and pretend they not good, but are hood to be around these motherfuckers. Come on, man. This shit's weird, man. And it's corny. It's whack to me that we got people suggesting that you go into the slaughter for the betterment of dumb people. Then y'all let Ramil Amir said too much shit out his mouth, man. Y'all let him say anything he wants. This dude went after black pill men. He went after incels, talking about you want to kill yourself. Like, these niggas never say anything. It's like, dude, I heard Ty. What I think that dude Ty or some shit. He was on Mr. Fantastic laughing at Floyd Mayweather's dick size. And he's like, oh, you can't get a behind the dick. That shit don't work. Yes, it does, man. I used to run a group for guys who deal with small penises. And one guy described that he never felt the same after he got his implant. He said, I did all of this for women to feel pleasure, and I feel the pleasure, but this pleasure wasn't worth cutting myself open and putting something in my body that wasn't mine. And then some people talk about shit they don't know nothing about. Like, you know how many adult film stars who walking around with fake Johnsons right now? And they're bigger than the so-called black guys they talk about. If every Asian and Indian and white guy all get dick implants, what are you niggas gonna talk about now about how big your penises are, right? If they take that shit away from you, then what you gonna say? My shit is real. It ain't fake. Just like y'all fall for women with fake asses. Oh, if women don't have a big boobs and big ass, fat ass, I don't want her. She don't have a waist. But you don't understand that half of these women all look the same because of your mindset. But I leave that shit alone because everybody like what they like. But if that shit comes to fruition where every other race gets sick of black men bragging about their dick size, and they start getting dick implants and everything else, you niggas gonna run out of rope to use. Because guess what? The same dudes that you think is below you gonna steal your fucking women. The only reason women go with black niggas is because the sexual pleasure. That's all. And you niggas don't understand that. This is why when Keith come on, he be like, yeah, man, black men are this and black men are that. No, they're not, man. A lot of niggas, a lot of women see y'all as sexual objects. The ones who, like myself, who ain't so-called big or whatever, average, above average, I get in because I had to put in other work. I'm not used as a sexual gratification thing. I'm not used as no sexual thing at all. They enjoy me because I'm different and I'm like their men, but I'm just black. So I'm different. It ain't some kind of slavery, sexual slavery, market or whatever bullshit where I have sex with her a million fucking times for her to like me, but you can't even meet her parents. You can't even hang around her family. She only wants you in the bedroom. A lot of these dudes will lead you down the wrong way. And guys like Mad Bus Driver is telling you, and everybody else who got families, real families, where they see their families, and they're cool. Some of them are cool with their families, their wives' families. Will tell you that's the better deal of dating somebody in another race is actually going in traditional places. You get away from nigga shit, and you get away from people who don't stand on shit. Cause me, I'm looking at it like, wow, these motherfuckers is just, this shit is too mixed match. Niggas leave, they go on B1 side and talking shit about brothers and shit, and so-called AKA brothers, and then Mike Shimmery shows up after a couple of months of talking down to everybody, talking about they don't know women and they're incels. I seen the shit that he said. But I'm not the one to call him to task. But I'm gonna call him to task, and y'all seen what he said when he was in Obsidian's fucking chat, when Obsidian left YouTube. People all saw what Mike Shimmery said. And then when he left, when the people clowned the shit out of him from dating a single mom, and then trying to tell niggas how to get women and all this shit. And then he comes right back knowing that we got powerhouses in this shit now. And he don't want that smoke, and he looks stupid, just like these women who joined B1, and they look stupid now. Because after the B1 shit went out, all these women coming out, oh, we don't like everybody no more. We don't like. Now they coming at the C Boogie. After a couple months ago, they was loving C Boogie. Everybody who was right about C Boogie, keep standing on your ground. But never join up with people who now finally figure out C Boogie was fucked up. Cause you like, nah, you was with him. Stay on that side. When you make a decision in real life, when you make a real decision, you can't go back to the people you used to talk about, the people you planned against. In real life, it's consequences. And it should be consequences online, because I see it on the white side. Do you think that Miggy 101 could come back to the MGTOW community and act like he never accused Turd-Flinging Monkey of what he could accuse him of? No. Do you think all the beef that happened with that Indian dude who was using MGTOW, do you think he could come back and try to make MGTOW videos again after he said what he said? No. They don't accept that shit. They make you live with the consequences that you did. But on the black side, you get to do everything you want. You get to stab somebody's brothers, and then you sit back. You get to stab somebody. You get to rob people. You get to sleep with people's wives and girlfriends, and then same dude, one of your friends, hang out with the dude who slept with your wife, who slept with your girlfriend, who killed your brother, who beat up your best friend. That's the black community. and no wonder why people just stay the fuck away from black people, man. They're like, fuck this, man. I don't want this mixed-match shit around me. Society is now a place that is hostile and it has too many social traps for you to get trapped on. It's crazy, man. Like, I suggest that, everybody do what I did. Or do your own thing. Because I messed up right there. But I suggest everybody try just being a free agent. You ally with people that you feel good about. But once they do something crazy, you don't have no real allegiance with them like that. You just break off from them. Don't say anything, just break off from them. Because I feel like a lot of people don't think the long term. Even the people who talk about they thinking men. And the black side, it feel like that we're, as race of people, pretty much done. There's too much dysfunction, too much shit going on. Like I said, 5% is the good amount that you can actually salvage. And the 5% are men and small group of women. All the good women are probably married already now. They're not out here. They're not single. They don't have a story about how they used to get beat. They don't have a story about being cheated on. They're still married. They're not cheating on their husbands. all the good men are single, looking for somebody. Because everybody put the onus on them to be the best they can be, but never the women. Best in shape, best this, best that. But to me, it's a tiring thing, you know. In the black manosphere, you know, you got D Darrell, that's the new anti-SYSBM dude. Then you had Black Caesar at one point coming in the chats. You got Gabe A now. You had a couple other dudes in there. What's that dude named Alpha Wolf or some shit that was in the chat. It's like it's all these fucking people who just keep coming. Like just like when that video I made with Herschel shooting all the zombies. It's like they just keep coming. It's like the plague. I can't, like, it's the farm. Every time these people come in your space, they just don't stop coming. And every time they come after you or talk about you, they just don't stop coming. After you beat another boss, like, Reg the Bad Guy looked stupid when he joined C Boogie and Super Sly. Now C Boogie showed his true colors. Like I said before in the previous video, now he looks stupid. Half the people don't rock with him like that no more. He's still talking about $5, $2, this dollar. And now he got Super Sly in there and C Over, who was with Raining Woman, and now Raining Woman is MIA. Oh yeah, let me talk about Naima. Has any of y'all simps who love Naima, has y'all seen her yet? Because it looked like she got a man in the pandemic. And it looked like she don't need the black manosphere no more. It looked like she don't need the black manosphere no more. See, this is what I'm talking about. These women coming into space in order to grab one of you intelligent guys, or grab somebody in the black manosphere and then fool y'all into being in a relationship with them. The same thing that this Melody, whatever her name is, that came into space, saying that she wanted a kid. And I looked at her Instagram and I'm like, this is the typical ratchet chick that y'all let in here, but y'all like caking her up and stuff. And all these guys who talk about the women and how much good with women they are, why y'all not making a space for guys to be socializing with better women than the women in the black manosphere? And you just make it sure so guys like a Thorwald Columbia and all these other people who sent for all the other women don't come in the chats. People that you never saw before come in there and conduct themselves the right way around better women. I just don't get it, man. A lot of motherfuckers say they're good. A lot of people say they're good with women and this and this and that, but their online shit doesn't match up, man. It don't match up. I can't, like I said before, it's getting harder and harder to listen to lives if I'm not doing something in the background. It's hard to listen to anybody for longer than like 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I mean, I got a stack of videos that I can show you right now that I have in the chamber. Some just I forgot. Like Man of Tomorrow's, I watched this stuff. I watched it. I just like to look at the comments. Tommy, all the other stuff. But I have a lot of videos in my collection that I haven't watched because I can't stand to watch these guys. I can't stand to watch some of these guys anymore. Man of Tomorrow, yes, I watch all his videos. Tommy, not all the time. Who else? Mad Bus Driver, he don't make lives no more. He don't do it on YouTube, I don't think. So he just do videos, so he went back to videos. King Simba don't really do videos like that. So a lot of people just stopped coming on here making videos because they got tired of the bullshit. I only make these small videos, recording videos, because this is the better one for me. I don't want to do no live videos. So, pretty much, man, society doesn't feel genuine anymore. I think it's easier to buy out of society, out of this society, than it is to buy into society in this society. Because if you think about what you have to buy into, it's gonna run you a lot of money just to appease all these different people, and how these people try to like tell you, and what they try to tell you to do, and all this other stuff. It's like you're gonna keep wasting money trying to appease everybody. You're gonna waste money dancing on a rope, and eventually you're gonna waste money through the courts. It's like a big Ponzi scheme to get you to do what they want, and then you're paying out more money than you have to. It's kind of cheaper to buy out of the society and be like, okay, I'm out of here, because all you got to do is buy stuff that's made for you. All you got to do is do stuff that makes you happy. All you got to do is create your own circle, create your own thing, and make sure that nobody else is enticed to like what you like. I love what Mad Bus Driver did with SYSBM. SYSBM with niggas and with most black people, they always catch on to something about 8-9 years, almost a decade late, because they all stuck in this hood mentality, this ego-central mentality. They think they the best, they the shit, they this and this and that. And they never see that shit be popping off when it first starts. So by the time something gets popular, somebody already put it out there and been doing the groundwork for it, and then they just jump and say, I'm it. I mean, everybody know about SYSBM back in the day. Everybody. And I agree with it too. But at the same time, I didn't have a voice on here at all. I decided to leave. I was on Twitter, I was on Tiny Chat, I was on I was on many other social media platforms. YouTube was just fun for a little bit. You could see all my old videos from 2011, and then a video that I made in 2017. That's how long that I wasn't on here. But I knew about SYSBM, but I never really said anything about it because I appreciate the fact that it was small. And when I started talking about it and talking about how fucked up, how it was cool, it wasn't because I was jumping in. It was because it was good to see it grow into what it was. But then at the same time, I didn't like that it was people that was jumping on the bandwagon. Like I said, I was red pill at 15 years old. I was red pill at 15 years old. Wasn't like none of this was new. My first sexual experience was with an Asian chick. My first girlfriend was a Puerto Rican chick. So I'm not gonna be broken record and say, well, I was SYSBM. No, I was like that beforehand. 5 years old, I knew not to mess with black chicks. 5 years old. Pretty much had it my time. And like I said before, man, society is not worth it anymore, man. This general society in America is not worth it anymore, man.